As a designer, I live and die by the undo button, which is why I deleted it from Photoshop. In this video, I must complete a graphic without pressing undo. I literally removed the shortcut from the program, so I can't even if I wanted to. So every missed brushstroke, every experimental change, every little mistake, it stays. Also, thank you for 900 subs! So today we are going to work on a Brigitte. Brigitte? Brig? Look at her, she's so pretty. So I have a pretty good idea in mind of what I want to do with this graphic. I think we're just gonna have it be really dark with lots of gold glowy bits, and I think that'll look really cool, maybe a little spooky. And just to check, yep, can't undo. I'm mashing the key, it's not working. So the first order of business, I think, is to just lower the exposure overall, like so, and we'll add a vignette. Simple black to white gradient, make it radial, reverse it, and change the scale. It looks fine to me. We'll mask out the exposure slightly, but we want these leaves to remain dark, like so. You don't want much of this background sticking out here either. Nor her armor, we can always paint in some highlights later. Oh, I can't undo! What did I just do? I just removed like most of my mask and I can't undo it. Oh, that's annoying. Gonna have to mask out these leaves again. And this background. Oh, this is gonna be a pain. I can already tell. All right, the face is looking good. We're getting somewhere. I'm going to manually just add some black on the sides because I really don't want to see the leaves at all, basically. Whoops, I can't undo that. I guess I'll just delete the layer. Actually, new idea. Every time I make any sort of change, I just make it a new layer. Then I can just delete the layer. I don't have to worry about undoing things. Like so. Oh no. Oh no, I can't. I meant to use the eraser. Oh no. Delete that layer, start again. Brush the black back on. This is going to be so annoying. All right, eraser tool. Yes, that's the right tool. 600 size brush, and we're gonna lightly brush it over here. That looks fine to me. We may actually want this screenshot to be a bit bigger, so I can put her face in the forefront. Let's have the eyes near the center so they can stay as the focus of the graphic. We will have to expand the exposure a little bit, which is fine. It's easier to add black on the mask than to try and remove it later. But we're gonna go smaller just so if I make a mistake, I can still kind of erase it. That looks okay. I'm gonna make a new layer for this part. I don't want to see this background behind her, so we're just gonna darken this area on a new layer in case it looks bad. We multiply and we lower opacity. Okay, not terrible, not bad. Could be worse. At this point, we make a new layer. I think we can start painting in on some highlights. We get this yellow. I'm not very good at painting, so I usually use the undo button a lot. So this might be a little bit difficult. Oh, that's already bad. Yeah, we're gonna delete that layer and try again. Let's erase the sides a little so it kind of fits the shape better. A little bit more natural. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Brush it back on, erase it again. There we go, that's okay. We'll still need to erase this edge, but it's much better on top. We'll do the same thing on the other side on a new layer. Oh, I can't undo it, I erased too much. Oh dear. Does that look okay? This could be worse. This doesn't look good. If we make the highlight a little closer to the face by erasing this part, maybe? That looks okay, I guess. We'll lower the opacity again. I think that's better. That looks okay, because it looks like the light from the eyes is kind of reflecting off the stone here. That's pretty cool. Next off, let's start adding some light to the cracks. Do we want to go with like a green yellow, or do we want to go with like an orangey yellow or pure yellow? I think I'd like goldish yellow. We're gonna try that. Okay, so new layer, and we're going to just click and try our blending modes. Yeah, this looks like some kind of really spooky punk album cover. That's spooky. Oh no, she looks possessed. That's all right for a first layer. We'll do the same with the cracks. And again, that needs a blur for sure. Now that I think about it, we probably want a little bit of a highlight on the edge of the armor, just for visual interest, like so. In here, soft light, blur it. Too much blur. Oh, I can't undo it. Oh. Delete layer, new layer. Do it again, blur it, erase it, and soft light it. There we go. Lower opacity, perfect. Looking good. I think we're going somewhere with this. It might be time to start playing with colors. So if we go into our yellows and we start turning the hue around, do I like it yellower or do I like it oranger? Orangier? Oranger? More orange? Orangier. More orangey. I don't know how good of a dictionary Wiktionary is, Wiktionary, but I'll take it. I think we can make the yellow a little richer by dragging it over this way without making it not yellow, like so. We play with saturation. Ooh, interesting. Let's play the color balance too, because I don't know if I like the way the blues and the yellows are interacting and making this kind of greeny shade over here. So if we bump the reds here, play with the highlights. I'm not sure if I want it like a blue highlight or a purple highlight maybe. Like this is pretty cool, but now she looks a little too lava-y. If I remove the saturation layer, that helps a lot. I feel like it loses some of its dynamicism. Dynamicism? I can't words today. When it's all yellow tinted, you don't get the contrast from a little bit of a blue shadow or something like that. But it just blends really well like this. I'm not sure what to do. The great thing about the color balance and adjustment layers is that I don't have to press undo at any point. I can just slide the sliders all around. That's real nice. That's an improvement. We'll leave it there for now. Let me paint some shadows and stuff first. It might be interesting if we had this kind of pink blob here and we just play around with colors and see how it looks. That's pretty cool. It's not really what I'm going for, but it's interesting. Oh, but with the color balance, it looks pretty strange, but it's kind of nice. It's too warm though, isn't it? What if it was more of a purpley pink? If we just go here, magenta, and just kind of whoop, like that? Maybe? I don't like how that edge is shaping up though. If we lower the fill and make it quite subtle, I think I like it. The next thing we should do is paint in more shadows because the whole point of this is to have really dramatic lighting. So if we have light coming from the eyes and from this crack, I guess this part of the face would be in shadow? Like so? This part of the face might be in shadow? No. Those look like really weird eyebrows. No undo, but we can erase. Some shadows under the hair. New layer just in case I mess this up. Shadows on the nose. A little on the lips. More here. That looks a little unbalanced, I'm gonna be real. What if the whole side of this face was in shadow? That doesn't really make any sense. Delete. I'm gonna rethink this color balance a little. There's now way too much magenta going on. What if we had cold shadows? That's a little colder, maybe? What if the entire lower half of the face was shaded slightly dark? Ooh, that's not slight at all. Up here too? And a contrast layer, band-aid fix, a little brightness. Ooh, okay, we're going somewhere. I wonder if these layers should be underneath the highlight layers. Oh, yes, they should. Although now I'm rethinking the need for this purple layer. It might actually be better without. We'll just reduce the opacity by a lot. Now I think we could use a little bit more glowiness. Whoa, that's a lot. Phew. Let's make that a little smaller this time. Bloop, bloop. Let's try some subtle highlights on the nose. Oh, that's really not subtle. Lower the opacity, blur it, and hey, that's okay. For the eyes, I think we're just gonna go and paint in a light highlight on the rim, just to make it seem like it's glowing a little more brightly. Set that to screen probably, or soft light. And we blur it like that. There we go, that looks a little brighter. Just gotta erase the part overlapping the eyelash. That looks pretty good to me. I think when we go into camera roll, I'll probably up the texture a little bit because it's quite an interesting rock texture. For now, I think we want to put some text in the forefront. For the text, I think we either want to go stone or kintsugi, which is a Japanese art of repair where you use gold to fill in cracks of broken objects, because that's what the skin reminds me of. Whichever word looks better, I guess is what we'll use. Oh, but the O kind of... it doesn't really look great with the shape of the face. Maybe? That looks quite good, actually. Ooh, I really like this. This is completely unreadable, but it looks cool. And that's what really counts, right? Center it, and then align it this way so it's visually centered. That's cool too. I like that. I actually feel like the entire face is maybe a little bit too small, so we're actually just gonna select everything and up it in size. Hopefully we do this right, or I won't be able to undo it. I mean, that's the thing, right? I think the power of CTRL+Z is that it encourages experimentation. You know, I'm not afraid to try out wild strokes or new blend options because I can always go back. How do traditional artists even do this? Gotta take like a Bob Ross approach? No such thing as a mistake. This is kind of a mistake. Maybe? A little more, a little larger. There, that's not bad. This one curves on the nose in an interesting way, but I think the solid parts are a little too prominent. This one's completely unreadable, but it looks sick. And this is really just an aesthetic piece, so I don't think it has to be readable, but we will keep looking. I just realized it's the same layer, so I can't undo it. Dang it. That's fine, it's just a font, I can just go back. Oh, it's in the wrong position. Gotta move it back. New layer, type it again. Just going through these old layers. I think I want to lower the opacity of this highlight. We need to keep that. These are important. They are kind of yellow. We'll fix that in camera raw. That's the shadow. Man, this is why you name your layers, people. Don't follow my example. Okay, now we duplicate and we move into camera raw. Let's check the presets first, see what we're working with. So the shadows are lifted a little too high here, but I do like how the colors blend a lot better in the matte preset. Ooh, I like this one. I'm always a sucker for warm contrast. Oh, this matte is even better because it neutralizes the colors even more. I wonder what happens if we select this, but then we go back and lower the shadows like this. Now we can't see anything though. Yeah, that's not gonna work. As interesting as that is, I think we've lost a lot of the dynamic aspect, if that makes sense. We're going to warm contrast, and we're just gonna play the colors. So I want my yellows to be less green, more yellow. And I also want them to be quite light. But the thing about this is you can't even really tell it's Brig anymore because you can't see her hair basically at all. You can see a little bit of where he painted the highlight, but the top is totally, it's not there. Oh, if we up the clarity like I said I wanted to. That looks interesting. That might be too much, but it's very interesting indeed. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I don't know if I really wanted this red. Like, this might be better. This definitely needs to be a little bit magenta-y on the reds, just so it adds some visual interest. It's not all yellow, there's a little bit of a gradient effect going on. Don't know if we want split toning. We'll try it. Green shadows are pretty good looking, actually. We match that with magenta highlights. Ooh. Or just yellow highlights? Ooh! But I don't like how it's quite grainy now, where the light meets the dark. Is it here? Is this why? It might be this part. I might have messed a bit too much or something. Does that look different? I don't really know what I did because I can't undo. That looks interesting. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do next is manually brush in some lights here. We're gonna need a new layer because we can't undo it once it goes wrong. Just gonna lightly brush over all these areas again. The edges, the edits, lightly erase anything that goes past. There, that's good. Now we're gonna change it to soft light, and we can go and change the hue of this as well. Ooh, what shall we do? Interesting. More red or more yellow? I think yellow just sticks to the theme better. So we're gonna go with yellow. Okay. I think we're done. And there you have it. That wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Maybe because we weren't doing a lot of repainting. The only times it was really annoying was when we had to work with the mask, things that had round brushes on them, because you can't erase those very easily. Honestly, that went pretty well, all things considered. I'm gonna mark that as a success. We beat the challenge, woo!